Alrighty, here we are, tail end of Sector 3. We're going to go ahead and move on to Sector 4. So we have two different ones to determine here. We have either the NG homeworld or a civilian sector. They're both green, but remember from one of the previous videos, we wanted to go upwards so that we can hit one of these red nodes, hit one of those hostile sectors. And then ultimately, I think what we'll do is we'll just, depending on how things go from there, if we don't get any weapons or a bunch of scrap, maybe we'll sink back down and go into that nebula to see if we can hit more nodes. But ultimately, if we don't get some more weapons before the end, we're going to be pretty underpowered anyways. So I still have quite a bit of scrap. I'm kind of saving that. But basically, I am going to need to find another weapon, or at least pour some of my resources into my weapon output. The double shield will be good enough for a little bit, but we're gonna start running into ships that have 3 shields. Without appropriate weapons, we're pretty much screwed. So our shield will hold up for a little bit, but not our weapons. So we don't have much to choose from here. So let's have a quick look. Just a little scout. He's nothing to worry about, so I'm going to go ahead and defend that. And he's got lots of weapons, so I'm going to be looking to see what he's dishing out. He's got 2 teleport bombs. That's bad news for me. So I'm going to be able to get my shot off here with the burst laser. Normally I would want to do burst laser in combination with the pike beam, but being that he's going to shoot that, I also don't know where in his weapon rotation this little bomb is. So even if I shoot it and hit this the first time, it may very well only deal damage to this one here. So I feel like this is going to hit me no matter what. The odds of this being the first one in the rotation probably seems a little bit unlikely. So the smart play here, I think, is to just soak the first hit. Hopefully they don't target my weapons, so I can go burst laser and pike beam in combination and hopefully disable most of the ship. So place 1 looks like it's some sort of maybe a hull bomb thing. May just get lucky here. May get lucky. I'm not overly optimistic, but I hit the shield. That actually worked out pretty well. I took out a shield. I didn't hit anything else after it, but my pike beam got in there really nicely. So I'm going to try and target those weapons because they're still going. It unfortunately wasn't enough. And that looks like it's just a static bomb too. It's not anything overly serious. Took out my oxygen. It's only a problem if they start hitting rooms after these systems go down. That's when things go south. Should have him. There we go. So I ended up not taking any hull damage. I actually got a pretty decent reward. Got a bunch of fuel and got some scrap, plus the reward for actually helping. So that actually worked out pretty well. I really need to hit up a store. I do have this charge laser here where I can charge a few times, but we kind of discussed that one last time, that we didn't really know if this was going to be the best option because it's pretty expensive as far as resources go. So I'm trying to avoid having to use that. And I haven't really been using missiles for the longest time, but ultimately if I can find a good weapon, then I could at least understand what sort of power output I need in my weapons. And right now I'm afraid to spend anything in weapons just to charge these up when I might run into an issue where I need shields or something like that, but or just have scrap ready for a weapon purchase. So we got 2 stores. So here's the issue now. They're not connected. So if I want to hit both stores, I have to go to this one, then hit up these other nodes, and then hit up the other store. The problem with that, as we saw before, we might get buyer's remorse when we go to one. And if I go to this one and then leave it, the fleet's going to be coming up behind me. I'm not going to be able to, I'm not going to be able to hit up both of them effectively. So obviously, best case scenario is either there's something really awesome in this store, or everything in here is worthless. So that way when I leave it, I'm either very satisfied or don't really care. That way I can go from here to here, back to this store without any problem. If there's a moderate weapon in here and I think about buying it, but then I don't, and then I get to here and it's just a couple of crew members, then that's where things go south. But we have 2 stores to basically find 1 or 2 decent weapons at this point. I have enough scrap where I can probably buy 2 good weapons, sell some of the other ones that I have, and actually be in a good position for the rest of the game. So it really depends on what we have out here. So we got hull lasers and burst lasers. Burst laser is what I have, except for I have a burst laser number 2, which is the exact same power output, and it's obviously better, so I'm not gonna swap that out. The scrap recovery arm, being that we are only halfway through, I almost always suggest getting this. It is only 10% more scrap, but we need scrap. I mean, that's our fuel. So basically, we'll get this back in the long run, unless things go really, really poorly. But none of these weapons are really that great. They do all have 2 shots. If I look at mine, charge time is 12 seconds. To be honest, I just don't see myself using the charge laser. I'm just going to get rid of that. So I have 330. So if I choose to buy the hull laser, it's got decent charge time, but not quite as fast as my Mark II. What I'd really like is a heavy laser instead. My fear is that I run into something that needs damage output. Although I do have the Artemis missiles, so I can manage a few more rounds without another hardcore weapon, unless they have defense drones where they're going to shoot down all my missiles. So I'm going to buy the scrap arm. It cost me a little bit, and then we're just going to move forward. So fleet's right there, as I suspected. We'll hit up these next 2 nodes here and hope to hell that there's something in this next store. That was nothing. Alright, this is the moment of truth now. I've been burned many, many, many times in this game, so it wouldn't surprise me if there's really nothing in here. Bunch of beans, but we have chain burst laser. So this one here, chain lasers are actually pretty awesome because they speed up as they go along. So the first time is 16 seconds, but then it keeps charging up and it gets faster and faster and faster and faster. So the longer you stay in a fight, the better it actually is. So this weapon here is only equaled by the Vulcan laser. Vulcan costs 4 power to power up. So I'm actually going to buy this one. So we got that. And before I buy anything else, I definitely want another crew member too. I like these guys because they give me energy. But I want to make sure I have enough to power all my stuff first. The systems always come before staff. So I'm going to leave this here, jump into my ship, and make sure I can actually equip everything. So first off, we don't want this ever powering down. So this is going in the first slot. And then next up is the burst laser. I want that in the bottom slots too. The pike beam, that can stay. And actually, I'll switch it with the Artemis beam. So the pike beam would be the first thing that goes down. And honestly, if somebody targets my weapons, I want that beam thing going down first anyways, because I want to be able to still have my missiles in case of emergency. So where I'm at as far as power goes, we have 2, 4, 6, 7. We can't power everything, but we can power a good chunk of it. So remember, always look at the cost of the upgrade as well as the energy to power it. So I'm going to accept this, power up my stuff here. I still only have 1 in my engine, which could be better. I still could use more in shields. So really it's a matter of how far can these 3 weapons take me. And honestly, I would like to have 1 more chain laser instead of the Artemis and the pike beam. And then those 3 weapons alone will carry me quite a ways, I think. So we are going to power up. One weapon is 50 and then 25. That's 75 to add 1 more to weapon, which would give me the Artemis. But really I would want 2 more so I can do the pike beam. So this is 125 and 50 is 175. So I almost have to do that. 2 here, 2 here. That leaves us with 46. Now the pike beam is up. We'll save the last 46 for emergencies, really. The store had 60 for him. I just can't afford it. Even if I sell something, which I don't want to sell my missile launcher just yet, it's cheap and it bypasses shield. So in a crunch, that's going to be very helpful. So once these guys get going, the chain laser and combined with the burst laser, our fights should actually be pretty successful. If I had 2 of each of these, this ship would be pretty deadly actually. But ultimately, 4 chain lasers is about one of the best loadouts you can get. But that requires extreme amount of luck. Okay, so we got 20 fuel, and we got to see which way we can approach this exit. So we can only go from here. Just want to make sure that we take appropriate path here so that we hit enough nodes, earn some scrap, so we can make our next little bit of purchases that are coming up too. So we have a 2 shielder. We knew that those guys were going to be coming, which basically means we have to hit up pretty hard in terms of shields and weapons. He's got some sort of a missile weapon, and it looks like a little burst laser, so I can soak his burst laser probably, but it all depends on what he targets with that missile. So I'm not going into full-on auto-fire yet mode. Usually once I get a bunch of lasers, I'll switch to auto-fire, but being that I still have to time out the pike beam, there's that. Hopefully this isn't a big one. It looks like it's going right. It's not going for my weapons. I feel like it's going for engines. I'm actually gonna. I guess this guy is he's gonna get hit. He's not gonna die, but I don't like when the missiles actually hit. Burst laser is gonna be up. Chain laser is gonna be up, and then so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use both of these in combination, take out all of his shields, and then I'm gonna go to town with the pike beam. You might think to go for weapons first, but they're all on cooldown here. So if I take out shields, I can go with the pike beam, and then I'll do some sort of I'll do a 4-room hit over here, and that should actually work pretty well. So those are all up, so we're gonna go 2, 1. We're gonna get 3, number 4 on board here, just like that, and then we'll unpause. And now he is toast, and actually that missile missed, which was really nice. And now he's got everybody on board trying to heal. Surrender 1 missile and a little bit of scrap. I think his life is a little bit more worth more than that, so down he goes. We'll go 1 here, 2 here, auto fire, and 4 is going to be like that. His shield's down, so it's going to hit for sure. So you can see just by getting a couple of better weapons, things start to look a lot better. And actually, like I said, his death was worth more than his life, so I'm happy with where that went. Ultimately, what I need to do is I need to see how much it's going to cost me for my next layer of shield, which I think it's going to be about 200. So 100 there, and actually 50 for the 2 energy. So that's actually not bad. It's 200, it's more than 200 for the last one. That level 4 shield is tough to get without the scrap arm. So if I can get 150, I'll buy the 3rd layer of shield because I know it's going to be necessary. Ultimately, you can't survive if you don't have shields. I know obviously weapons are important as well, but you can't fire your weapons if you're dead, so always take that to heart. Alright, so just a little extra stuff there. I don't mind getting free rewards. We're going to hit this one before we miss it. Alright, so I do have a blue thing. Hopefully that gives me an extra one. Quest marker. And either we missed it, it was inside the fleet, or else it's in the next sector. I didn't really read what the quest is. I usually don't care what the quests are. I'm going to go to this one instead of this one because there's more nodes here. And I basically, well, I guess there isn't more nodes. Yeah, there's a bunch more nodes. I like to go to the ones that have the most possible output. That way if there's ever a store adjacent to it, I know I can hit it. That's always important to me because always finding better weapons is the way to go. So 2 shields, pretty decent weapons. He's got one of those nice energy weapons and a burst laser and something else here probably. Find out in a hurry, but I'm not paying a toll. I don't think I ever have. So alright, so actually that wasn't even a weapon there, so I'm not concerned. A couple of little baby weapons. I think honestly nothing he can do here. I'll wait and let stuff charge up here. Oh, there was a weapon there. Didn't look like it at first, but should be able to soak this. I think one of those might hit. 2 of them hit. That kind of sucks. And he hit my weapon too. God damn it. Alright, so I'm going to go straight for his weapons. I'm going to go up on auto fire, but I'm going to send this guy in to help repair and this guy. But we're just going to go straight auto fire, and I don't care if his shields are up. I'll just keep taking them down. Between the burst laser and the charged up chain laser, I'll start taking those down. And actually, I'll be on deck with this here. Oh shoot. I fired my pike beam too soon. Gotta be cautious about that when dealing with auto fire. There's no way after him doing damage to me I'm gonna take his offer, so yeah, he can rot in hell. Way better reward anyways. So that was the first one that actually was a little bit unnerving. I'm going to save my scrap just for a few moments. Normally, like I said, I would use that on my 3rd shield, and we saw that we could have used it here because he was putting out a lot of damage and consistent damage too. So I will wait and get out of here, and then I will use my scrap to get that 3rd shield after I get a little bit better assessment. Alright, small platform for fueling. A lot of times these stupid platforms blow up and cause you like 5 damage, but you basically have to weigh the option. Is it worth the fuel? It's hard to say. I'm at sector 4. I could have a stage where I burn through 10 fuel and not find any, so I almost always try to do it. Worst case scenario, it's 2 scrap per health. Costs you about 10 to fix it in the long run, so I'm gonna do it. It did 3 damage, and I got to deal with this guy here too, so. Alright, so I'll send all these guys in to fix my engine. And then we got a major beam weapon. Beam weapons against my shields, not a problem. He's got some sort of electrical weapon then, so it's possible that he may not even be able to do really any damage. So I'm just going to send both of these on auto fire and let them wear down his shields, because I got to do 5 hits to clear that Zoltan shield anyways. So this is, maybe it's like a bio weapon or something. Didn't do anything, and his beam weapon can't hurt me either, so. Actually, these guys, I'm going to send them in here to heal. Why not? Just heal away. Just meanwhile let my weapons charge up, and then he's honestly not even going to know what hit him. It's going to be a pretty rough day. Oh, he's charging up. That's kind of a weak thing to do. Shield is down. Let's see how many rooms I can hit. This will probably one-shot him. 20. Sorry, I don't get out of bed for less than 50, so goodbye. Hey, and there's my 50. How about that? So, never accept a weak offer. Never, ever. Alright, we gotta put something back in our engine here. I'm at 220 now, and I'm towards the end of this sector. It's possible there's a store, but I gotta go 1, 2, and then the third node. If there's a ship here and here, I might be able to get some more scrap back anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm actually gonna get my next layer of shield. It's definitely important. And actually, we're gonna buy 1 more energy as well. Get that, and that way I can cycle between my engine as well as turn on my my heals if I need to. Always important to be able to have that. And we got right back where we were with 45 scrap. So we're gonna go here, do some killing, and subject goal wealth, motivation survival, transfer goods acceptable. So they're gonna surrender and give me some stuff, or explain. Could be a trap. Well, half the time it is. They gave me 50 scrap though and 2 fuel. I'll take it. So as good as any fight could have been, if not better. Alright, we're going to attack these automated ships. He's stealth. Ships' weapons don't charge in stealth. I've never really understood that. It's like they have to be locked on in order to target. But this is a perfect example of why I got that third shield. Because these look like they're going to be... It's possible they're just like single shot or double shot. But if it's 2 per, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean... I only got 3 layers of shield, so it could be disastrous. We'll never know. They were all single target except for that middle one, so hopefully our shields hold up. He actually doesn't even have a shield, so I don't even care about this here. I'm just going to start pounding away on these and let the auto fire go. And he's dead now. There's no way he can survive. Hopefully there was something worth it in there. 31 scrap. Plus another 19. Total of 50. Plus a hull repair drone. If I had a drone kit, I might consider dumping that on there. Hull repair is actually pretty nice. But more importantly, I like that I'm getting more scrap back. And I'm only midway through. Because I'm going to be able to get my 4th shield. Once I get the 4th shield, if I feel my weapons are up to snuff, then I can actually start working on evasion with the engines. The order in which you do these things, it's all personal preference. Personally, I like survivability and I like attacking. Engines always seem to fall by the wayside. But when you get to the very end, sometimes that evasion will save your life. And full disclosure, I've not beaten the final boss with this ship yet, so that's just how it is. Alright, so we can buy a slave for 33, or I can just kill him and they'll give me a slave for free. So, kind of a no-brainer here. He's got a flak cannon. This is with the enhanced edition or the special edition. This thing here is the real deal. I don't know if it's a flak cannon 1 or 2, but you don't want to be on the business end of that. If you ever get to use the flak cannon, I think I might have a video out there where I have dual flak cannon 2s. And it's hilarious because it just totally peppers everything in front of it. It's not very good in the long run because it powers down really easily, but it's hilarious and fun to play with. Alright, so then they got one of these weak dual or triple shot weapons here. So my goal is to get both of these shots off here and hopefully disable this thing here before it goes. So I'm not even looking at the shields to start with. We're going to go straight into this, and I know that's probably going to be problematic. I'll check their charges here just to see if I can maybe get my pike beam off before they fire their things. It doesn't look like it's going to happen though. In fact, I may not even get my burst lasers off. Alright, so I'm taking both of these off because he fired both of his already, so it's not going to benefit me to just shoot at those when I know that I can get my pike beam. Unless he shoots and hits my weapons. That's the only bad thing that could come out of this. But this thing here completely obliterates shields as well, so it's possible we might take some major hull damage from this onslaught here. And then the price of getting a staff member out of it, or a crew member, is going to be pretty pricey in the long run. Alright, so it broke through the shield, which is what it does, and then the rest of it is just kind of going to spray in here. And fortunately it didn't hit us very hard, so we are going every shot here at the shield, and then we are going to take out this here. And there's my offer, which I'm going to gladly take. He's got weapons specialty, which Maxim does too. He also has repair, so no benefit putting him in one spot or the other, so I'll just throw him in my shield room. Save my new layout here. I do need to hit up a store eventually so I can get some of that hull damage back. And we're right at the next sector. So let's go ahead and leave, and now we want to go to the rock sector. We'll actually call it quits here, and we will pick that up in the next video. So stay tuned.